Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sonali and welcome to my new channel EdCouch. So thank you so much for all your love. So today's topic is VNV model, which is verification and validation model. So without losing any time, let's jump into the model description and how it is used in our daily life. So as I said, this VNV model is verification and validation model. This is a software testing methodology that outline a structured approach to the software testing and quality assurance. This model actually emphasizes the importance of early testing and ongoing verification throughout the software development life cycle in order to ensure that the final product met the requirement and specification. So basically this is a verification and validation model, and when we go into more detail we know that this is a this based on a concept that the software development and testing activity should be in parallel. They should be performed in parallel and coordinated throughout this SDLC phase. Okay, and so the model actually depicts the relationship between the different phases of software development and corresponding testing activity. So it's a midway between the development and the testing activity. So the verification activities are actually focused on ensuring that the software is well designed and implemented correctly, while the validation activities are focused on ensuring that the software meets the customer's requirement and performs as intended. So the verification activities include the requirement analysis, design, coding and testing. At the same time, the validation activities they include the system testing, acceptance testing and deployment. So if you see this slide, you will get to know the verification, the V model structure actually, and you can get to know that it looks like a V model, right? So this consists of two main branches actually that represent the verification and validation activities. So two line of the V. The left hand side branch represent the verification activity, and the right hand side branch actually involve ensuring the validation activities. So which involve ensuring that the software meet the requirements and its specification. So at the same time, the right hand branch represents the validation, which involve ensuring that the software meet the customer's expectation. So by using this verification and validation model, software developer and tester they can actually ensure that the software is thoroughly tested and validated before it is used to the customer. So this can help reduce the amount of defects and error in the software, and can also help to improve the overall quality and reliability of the software product. Let's go into more detail and talk about the advantage and disadvantage of this V model. So advantages are very clear. They are simple. This model is very simple to use, and it's a user friendly, and the testing activities like planning, test designing happens well before the coding. So this saves a lot of time actually, hence higher chance of success over the waterfall model. So here you see one more model, waterfall, which I did not cover because it's a basic model in testing. Most of the time we are using VNV model, so that's why I focus into this V model. If you want to know more about the waterfall model and what is the exact difference between a waterfall and a VNV, then you please comment. I will go into that detail also. Okay, so this V model actually proactive defect tracking model, because defect can be found in a very early stage. So this avoid a downward flow of the defect, and this model works well for the small project where the requirements are very clear and easily understood. So this is the advantage of the V model. So disadvantage of V model is like it's very rigid and least flexible, meaning if there are frequently requirement changes happening in your project, then this model is a big no. So it's not that flexible actually. Software is developed during the implementation phase, so there is no scope, there is no early prototype of the software are produced. And if any changes happen in a midway, as I said, frequent requirement changes cannot be accommodated in this model. And that's a major drawback of this model. Actually, that's the reason that you should know what is agile, and why agile is more important nowadays in most of the companies, why they are applying agile frequently. So that's a very important aspect which I will cover in my upcoming sessions for sure. So you should actually know, now you know the VNB model, what is the advantage and disadvantage. So you should also know when to use this model, see, there are a lot of models, right? Waterfall model, verification and validation model. So you should know actually when you can use this type of models. So this V-shaped model actually should be used for a very small to medium sized project where the requirements are clearly defined and fixed. This V-shaped model should be chosen when ample technical resources are available with needed technical expertise, meaning so you should know the application thoroughly. So any new person coming to the team may suffer a lot when you use this V model. So you should be having ample amount of technical resources in your team before you ensure that you're going to use this model. So high confidence of the customer is required for choosing this V-shaped model. Since there is no prototypes are produced, there is a very high risk involved in meeting the customer expectations. So that's the reason I was telling that we should also know that what is the use of agile model and why now most of the companies are using this model. So guys, as you can see in this model, V model, so you need to actually understand one thing, that each of the phase actually is very important, which needs to be completed on time. From one phase you can jump into the next phase only when the previous phase is entirely completed. You cannot go to the next phase when your previous phase is already in progress. So you need to really understand this logic. Okay guys, so now you know the advantage, the disadvantage, you know when exactly to use this model, you know everything about this VNV model. So if you really want to know some other model like waterfall, or what is the major difference between these two models, when waterfall model should be used, and when this other module can be used, what are the other model we use in our SDLC. So all these questions you can just write it to me. And if it's really important, because VNV model is really important, that's why I'm focusing on this model. In my upcoming sessions I will also take a class on agile. However, there are some certifications in agile which you can go and complete. This certification actually that has a lot of impact on your understanding. But still, if you want to know the basics of why we use agile in most of the companies nowadays, then I can come up with the sessions. And that's all for today. So I'll see you in my next session. Till then, keep exploring a new skill and enjoy. Okay guys, so if you really think I am actually creating good content and it's really helpful for you as a beginner or as a lateral, then please subscribe to my channel, which is free for you. You can just subscribe, but that will encourage me, motivate me to do such videos. So thank you.